My name's Ruben Bronny.
Shanna Baker.
Anita Willis.
Megan Stothers.
My name's Carrie Ann.
Ian Hendry.
My name's Pauline.
My name's Carrie Ann, and I'm a history major at UVIC. I'm on my second co-op term right now. When I saw the job posted for a heritage interpreter at an underground coal mine, I applied for that one. For my second work term, I'm working for BC Assessment, Evaluation and Standards, and I'm a research student here. It really caught my eye because it was something that I didn't know much about, and because it was something new, I thought it was a great way to apply the skills that I've learned at UVIC.
I did a double co-op work term with a non-profit organization called the First Peoples Cultural Foundation. My co-op supervisor actually called me and was like, well, this job is available to you now, and I was like, great! So I went in for an interview the next day and got the job.
I ended up working for a government communications office, basically doing PR for the government. And that ended up translating into a full-time career. I'm now the senior speechwriter with the provincial government. I love my job. I manage a team of 5 other very talented writers. I get paid now about twice as what I did when I was a co-op student. So in a really real sense, Co-op didn't just contribute to my career development. Co-op gave me my career.
This is my second term with Co-op at University of Victoria. I'm currently working for Natural Resources as a communications officer. A large part of my job is translating for the public what goes on in the forestry sector and what happens at the Pacific Forestry Center. So it's very rewarding to be talking to the scientists about their breakthroughs and then being able to translate it to something that you could talk about with your neighbor. My first co-op position was with Tourism British Columbia, and my partner and I traveled the province as quality service evaluators at the visitor centers and posed essentially as mystery shoppers.
For me, co-op was a complete surprise because it was optional in my program, and I wasn't sure whether or not I would do any co-op terms because I had a lot of work experience, and I was also going to take on a thesis. So I had a chance to look at some of the jobs and was pleasantly surprised by the locations, the types of jobs offered.
My first co-op was at the Lookout newspaper in Esquimalt at the CFB Esquimalt Naval Base there. And then from there, the next year I went to the Morning Star in Vernon, and then my third and fourth co-ops were with British Columbia Magazine.
The only interns that they considered were people who came from the co-op. And so I decided, well, I was going to do the co-op then. That was going to be my best opportunity to work for the magazine. And so I started my first co-op in 1993, never imagining I was going to end up being the editor of the magazine.
So there's 2 aspects to my academic background. First off, I started doing my BA at UVic, but I didn't do my co-op program until I did a post-grad writing diploma. And that didn't necessarily give me directly relevant skills, but it gave me a lot of the intangible skills that really make me good at my job today, I think. Aside from just writing, but also the research and the critical thinking skills that you don't really learn anywhere outside of academic life.
I was given a lot of little tasks to do, like writing things for the newsletter and proofreading things that needed to go out right away. After I got back from my work term and came back to classes, I found that I didn't procrastinate as much on my assignments, so once I was assigned something, I would just start on it right away.
This job has certainly improved my writing skills. I write for a different audience. Instead of writing for academia, I'm writing for the general public and people who aren't keyed into some of the issues that I'm addressing. So it helps me, as I don't plan to spend my life in academia, to branch out and make it more usable for the general public.
co-op for the experience, but it turns out that the salary has been really good.
And when you get beyond co-op, for example, in my case, I'm now earning about twice what I did as a co-op student, and I got paid really well as a co-op student.
Dawn approached me specifically about Shanna, saying, I have a student who is very interested in working at your magazine. We weren't looking for a co-op student at the time. We didn't really have something for Shanna specifically to do, but he gave her such a great sell, and also leaned on me for the past experience that I'd had going through the co-op, and said, oh, you're really gonna benefit from having this young woman on your team, and oh, she reminds me of you back then. After 4 months, I knew I wanted to have Shanna on the team. She was just such a good fit.
It's kind of the only time in your career when you can really bounce from job to job, and it's seen as a positive.
And if you really put your heart and soul into it, you get so much out of it.
It was very neat, very interesting experience.
It has certainly opened my eyes.
It's just a must-do, I think.